So my name is Carilyn Ellis, and my title is Director of Clinical Training and associate professor, assistant professor. I think I'm an assistant professor. My name is Carilyn Ellis, and I'm an assistant professor of psychology and the director of clinical training for the Doctor of Psychology PsyD program. So this is interesting. I did my PsyD here, so I'm an alumna of the program where I'm now DCT, and if you would ever ask me if that would happen, I would have told you no. So I was born in California. I grew up in Japan, and I lived internationally and also in the United States, and we kind of landed in Oregon. So my mother did wildlife rehabilitation, and she actually still does. So my entire life I have been exposed to wildlife rehab. And so I grew up with squirrels and coyotes and bobcats and owls and bald eagles and all of that stuff, surrounded by them all the time. So I have been an avid lover of animals, of course, and people. So I like to say that I foster people and dogs, and they actually go together really well. My exotic foray into fostering was I fostered an iguana. And they are actually surprisingly affectionate. I will have you know that iguanas are surprisingly affectionate. So I love preparing people for kind of the breadth of psychological practice. And I think psychology as a field, it's really phenomenal because you can do anything with it, because where there are people, there is psychology. And so when you have students who are interested in serving humankind, then you have a breadth of what they can do with it. So the ability to see each student as coming in and having a core understanding of what the competencies and nature of the profession are, but also fostering their individual values and their individual passions and desires for where they want to go and how they want to serve is really wonderful. And I love the diversity of it. And I also love kind of seeing the interconnectedness as you look at like God's kingdom and how we care for everything. Like everyone receives a calling, and then their mission and their challenge is so unique and different in how they do it. So it's really fun preparing people for that, and also kind of fostering and supporting their growth of what they want to do. Biology is fascinating, and I absolutely love the roots and kind of the core underpinnings of who we are that you find in neurology and you find in just how we're built. But, you know, if you kind of think about like human beings from a biological perspective, it's like building a house, right? You have like a beautiful house, you've constructed it, you have your foundation, you have your walls and all of that. But how you choose to decorate it and live in it and work with it and through it can be very different, and that's perfectly okay. It is wonderful to have a diversity of how you choose to live and how you choose to be and how you are, and if you need to tear down a wall and build something new in a corner or whatnot. So I think I love the idea of the biological foundations as really helping us to understand why people are the way they are, why they're doing what they're doing, what makes addiction so hard, what makes certain things so difficult, what makes certain things so easy. But I also hope that people will take away the idea that even within those sometimes quite rigid frameworks, we still have the ability to manipulate and foster change.